If day one was just a warm-up, then day two is where the pace is set. The first stage jitters are gone, and every team has had their taste of the stage. Now comes the real test. Who rises and who gets left behind? Here in the beautiful city of Kamisu, the calm skies and strong winds from frame a battleground where AOC is ready to clash again. Team knows what it takes. Every cut is sharper, every throw is bolder, every bid more fearless. Day two is where contenders show themselves. Day two is where momentum is built, and day two is about to explode into another unforgettable round of games. Welcome to the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Champions 2025. My name is Jonathan, and I'm joined with Avril Tam again as your voices here on the field.
Beautiful day, isn't it, Jonathan? After an absolutely cracking day one, the sun was shining, the winds were roaring, the players were having a red-hot crack. And today, our first game on the live stream is Freakshow, club team from Singapore. In fact, their 30-year anniversary
30
this year.
years. Congratulations to them, indeed. 30 years is no joke, my friend. I mean, being able to just sustain that longevity in Singapore for this team.
And they go up against the Hong Kong representative team, Hong Kong China, who has started off on defense with a pull, and that one floats out of bounds. So interesting that, different federations have gone for different strategies, some for the national representative teams, some more for the club teams,
Correct.
Looking into the world clubs going to next year, 2026.
And you can definitely see it here, distinction where it's between a club team and the national team between Singapore and Hong Kong. And we'll see how Freakshow will start out with this offense. And a quick hawk, send it down deep. It's a one-on-one battle. Who's going to win it? And it looks like Freakshow will bring it in for their first score.
And that was an incredibly quick one-throw score. That was Sky Fong on the receiving end. Apologies, that Audric Lee on the receiving end of that huge huck. What a way to stamp the authority on the game.
It's just the first point, and it looks like it's going to be an exciting game at that. Just quick, no Hong Kong wasn't even to establish their defense at the get-go, so tough start for the D-line for Hong Kong.
I have to say it can be quite punishing when you're pulling out of bounds. It means that the players on offense are starting from a static start, and much harder for defense to try to get things in motion and protect spaces from a static start, I think.
And equally on that was really a skillful throw. It's not easy to throw a on a standing position as a hawk as good as that. It was just pinpoint accuracy straight to the end zone, as you saw.
All right, as we take a look, Freakshow now pulling not much wind at the moment to speak of. Unlike yesterday, you can see the flags in the background very, very still. We'll see how the conditions hold up, and different today as well. No heat break, so the players will play to half before they have a break. And we have Hong Kong on the close sideline, having to censor it with some tight match defense from Freakshow. Really no meters gained, having to move side to side. They finally get a gainer. That one's a bobble, but results in a catch. And a really big bid from the Freakshow defense, and they do, in fact, get the turnover. So early opportunity here.
Unfortunate there by Hong Kong as they were getting their momentum for their offense. It looks like from Freakshow, a little bit of a flat forehand side force that I see on their matchup defense. So see if that's going to be sustained.
Right, so a nice little pop-up high release. As we said, no wind, very familiar conditions for Freakshow in Singapore. As we know, not a windy city. And they move up quickly, closing in on the red zone, but forced to move back from sidewards. And a nice little inside backhand and an immediate continue. And Freakshow on the board, a hold and a break. They go up 2-zip.
And Freakshow takes care of business on the defensive side, being able to quickly convert that turnover. So we'll see how Hong Kong responds, but great showing from Freakshow there on that last point.
Yeah, Karina Chu there with the goal. She timed that continuation to perfection after that little lovely inside backhand. So Karina Chu getting on the board nice and early here.
And here for Hong Kong, as you can see in the screen, lost a tough battle yesterday between the Japanese team. They were down 2 points, 12-10. Were able to get it on 12-all and just lost in Universal. So definitely they wanted to really rebound from that going. But I think we'll see how that transcends in terms of the how much. I mean, you know how those games finish in those types of situations where they can be a momentum, can bring that momentum towards your second game in terms of being mentally tough. So we'll see how it goes here. Down 2-0, but again, never count out the Hong Kong team for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Like you said, sometimes picking yourself up mentally from a really tough loss can be tough, especially day one. You know, you want to get on the board, you want to start well, can kind of take the wind out of your sails. So hopefully Hong Kong can pick up the pieces and get back on the board here. And that is a really, really tough pull. Yeah, that was amazingly done by Freakshow. Rolled all the way towards the back of the end zone, but oh, way to sneak through Gigi Lam. And a big option here goes 2-on-1 battle, and the 2-on-1 wins. There might be a little bit of chat here.
It looks like a foul is being called. As you can see the explanation, it looks like he was pushed back, and the reason why he wasn't able to snatch that disc out of the sky.
Yeah, I think that was Ryan Shear from Freakshow with the touch getting up high. And the players are now talking through their perspective of what happened with that play.
You can see here in the replay, it's a little bit difficult to see there, but I can see the understanding from the Hong Kong player where it felt like that nudge from number 11 was what forced him to tumble down, able to not get a play.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're playing a 2-on-1 as well. I think, like say, number 11 Chelsea Chen was in the ground space, and then up high was also, you know, having to beat a defender as well.
Correct.
So very tricky situation to be in.
And I think coming from Dennis' perspective, he felt like he was already from that point of view, right? Like, actually, Ryan had he had the play in the disc first, and said like by the time whatever physical thing happened between number 11 and the Hong Kong player, felt in his perspective it didn't matter. But let's see the discussion going here.
Yeah, I think Seeming Young here, has a I guess perspective that, look, you couldn't have made that play without making contact. And it looks like, based on the hand signals, that's an accepted call. I suspect that might have been the discussion, right? It's like, could you have made a bid without making contact or significant enough contact with that play? Maybe not. So if it's an accept, the disc will stay with Hong Kong here, with Young. Otherwise, it will go all the way back. And Aidan Turner, the game advisor, being asked for perspective here.
Freakshow here, most of them, right, as we mentioned, like 30 years in the business. That's a long year, and congratulations on their 30-year anniversary this year. So just speaking with some of their players, right, they've just most of them are U24 representatives, right? So there's like a lot of momentum hanging in the balance for this team, and they're bringing it here. And I think it's good to see that they've been training for this tournament for like almost twice a week. It just shows, and they have 1 day focused for just strength and conditioning. So that's 3 times a week of hard, vigorous training. I can't imagine how much time they've spent to prepare for this one, Avril.
Yeah, in addition to the other commitments, a few of their players have been recently to Logroño, Spain for the World Under-24 Championships, and I'm sure that they've got really big commitments in their calendar. So kudos to all of these athletes who have demonstrated commitment to the sport and hard work to get to this point, and hopefully we can showcase a fantastic game so they can show their strengths.
Exactly, and I think with Freakshow, just really asking like what are their expectations within this tournament, and they're saying, look, we're a relatively young team. We're here to definitely win the games that they should definitely be winning, but most definitely I think experience is what they're really aiming for this young core. And in terms of the defense, and I think as we get back into the play now, Hong Kong will start. It looks like it will stay with them. Good conversation between that, and it looks like Hong Kong will retain play.
Yep. So back on board, it looks like Freakshow have opted for a zone defense. So you can see the arrowhead, the 3 players in that front wall. And so just forcing Hong Kong to move side to side, which they do, and they retreat as well. So Hong Kong need to work out how to ace forward, and as I say that, they punch through that front wall, a nice step on the inside, and continuation here, lots of space, just waiting for the troops to arrive now on the doorstep. And I think they
And looks like Singapore is going to still stick with their zone defense here. Again, a little bit of a 3-2 action where we see a lot of focus on trying to stop that forward pass.
Hong Kong able to stay patient here. Happy to take the side to side. Now they go a riskier option that falls straight into Freakshow defenders' hands. And Freakshow, with that zone persisting all the way to the red zone, finding success. So Freakshow, their D-line offense gets working. Outstretched hands. Fantastic sticky grab there. And their stack are very far away at the moment, John.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like a lot of focus on the handlers now, trying to make play for Freakshow. But as I say, someone comes down from that stack, which is good showing for Freakshow.
And they're making really good use of these insides and the quick kind of throw go. They time their continuations really well. And again, a one-handed outstretched grab. That brings it up to yet another break. 2 on the trot. Freakshow, 3 love.
Very unfortunate from Hong Kong. They were really close in showing good showing against Freakshow's zone defense, I think. And that's what the zone defense forces you, right? It forces you to those uncharacteristic throws, those high risky throws, and Freakshow was able to take advantage of it.
Yeah. I think patience is a virtue, right? And Hong Kong, I think, did really well initially with the patience and then kind of went, let's just try and punch through, went for that higher disc with the longer shot, lots of float, and that enabled the defense to get set. But having said that, Freakshow, you know, they threw quite a lot of discs, which are probably asking a little bit, you know, of their receivers, but the receivers were up to task. A few one-handed, full stretch grabs, so very impressive by the Freakshow D-line offense.
Indeed, indeed. So interesting to see. I mean, Freakshow, I mean, something that's really something that looking forward from any Singaporean team is how they're able to sustain such a high-performing players throughout their federation, right? So it's just really sustainable in terms of how they're able to send out as many teams as they can, not just within the region, but in the world, in fact, right?
Yeah, we've seen such good recent progress in terms of the underage divisions of Singapore. We know that they've had success in under-24s, coming second and then fourth in the most recent cycle. And so plenty of up-and-coming players, of course, the quarterfinals at Worlds. And they quickly work it up. Hong Kong this time, the offense looking much more smooth. Just a little dump backwards, live with the disc. Dump cut comes, Phil there in rescue. Lau passes it off. On. Oh, that's a nice option, bobble, but missed. Unfortunate there.
Unfortunate. And again, right, like really close to their end zone already, and just unfortunate errors.
Yeah, the pressure from Singapore. And they go a big huck. Oh, Hong Kong this time, the 2-on-1, but foul is called. Very similar to the previous play, but flipped teams this time.
So, same discussion. If you could see it there, the same situation where some physical contact happened, where it might have caused the Singaporean player unable to make a play on that disc.
Yeah, Tay there trying to get up between 2 Hong Kong defenders. Now, discussing perspective, this time it looks like the game advisors either been asked perspective or clarifying the rules. And that is Cody C, who I believe had that bobble and the layout attempt earlier, trying to make amends. Yep. So always really good to see, you know, if you've unfortunately made an error, you're hungry to get it back. So really good to see C there working her guts off to help cover that deep space.
And I think that's always been the case, right? Anything, you know, if I was in her position, I'd double twice as hard, or double my efforts rather, right? To be able to get it back, and it's great to see. And looks like it'll stay with Singapore. Another good spirited conversation.
Yeah. So, Tay dumps it back. Ability to contact, but takes it on. Ying now. Sorry, Lee. And Freakshow, again, very patient, just happy to work between the handlers.
Yes, it's mostly handler action here. Not a lot of movement from the cutters. So, and credit to Hong Kong's defense.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the Hong Kong defense have covered those upline cuts really well, recognizing that they don't want to be stuck out in that power position. But Freakshow now are on that far sideline knocking on the door, and there is a call, so there will be a pause in play. So really good effort. I think I saw 2 Hong Kong defenders cover that up line, forcing Freakshow to have to go the sideways dump. I think they know once Singapore get into that power position, very difficult to stop the continuation. So kudos to the Hong Kong defense.
Great momentum there and great presence of mind from Freakshow to get that disc back and reset play.
Well, now using the width of the field, and that's a break and a break. That is heartbreak for Hong Kong as they go down 0-4.
Bars, my friend. Bars, my friend, on that statement. And yes, 4-0, and that's 3-on-3 in terms of converting those turnovers. Very excellent and efficient Freakshow it is as far as their D-line goes. And just speaking with Brandon, like their main goal and from a defensive point of view is, look, we just want to bring as much chaos as it is against their opponents. And so far, it's been working wonders for them, Av.
Yeah, I think whenever their D-line gain possession, they haven't given it up. So clean breaks all around, very difficult. As you saw that first break and then that break continuation cut. I think a highlight so far of the Singapore D-line offense is their ability to time that continuation to perfection. And
you haven't seen them really panic, where I think that was a through test, their first test in terms of not having handlers with the women players, but they were able to be mentally tough, to be able to look, let's just stay poised, be able to move the disc to the other side. So it looks like we have a little bit of, I think, a timeout has happened.
Like to see the junior support there from Freakshow. They've got all the club merch as well, so love the junior support. I'm sure we'll be seeing them on the field in... I'm
probably sure he's already trying out the team already, as early as now. Knowing
Second gen?
Correct, right. Knowing how 30 years already in Freakshows, like they're already starting the recruitment as early as now. But yes, I think it's lovely to have, family around in these type of tournaments. It means so well to be able to expose, kids to this beautiful sport that we have.
Absolutely. And lots of different cultures as well. I think the great thing about these tournaments is that we have so many players from different areas of the world and kind of different ways of both playing and also, friendships and camaraderie as well. So it's a beautiful way to expose the younger generation to a different world that they may not have experienced yet.
Exactly. And I think being exposed to the spirit of the game, really, I think, and it's played very remarkable in this game. Those 2 points where they had a call, a good time of conversation, be able to agree. Look, I think your perspective is better, and we're going to accept that perspective. So really good to have that spirit of the game as early as today.
So very still conditions suiting Freakshow at the moment. They put on a zone again. This one's a little bit different. They're trying to trap it to the sideline, but Hong Kong do well with a overhead throw, a high release backhand to float it out to the break side dump. But again, as we see, forced to this close sideline, but they do well to pop in and try and make some gains through the cut. Oh, I love that shot through. Good vision, fantastic positioning by the popper as well, just behind that first wall of defense. And good movement. The cycling, I think, is really well done by the poppers and handlers here. And we go a slightly bladey forehand, but plenty of time there. And they get a bit of a release to the break side.
And I think the reason that they can definitely have confidence in throwing that throw, you can see the flags. There's no wind at all right now, so they're taking full advantage of the weather conditions right now.
You can throw anything you want, pretty much.
Exactly.
Oh, just when you said that, commentator's curse.
Unfortunate error there again.
Just some execution errors, and Freakshow go quickly to the end zone. I think that one's going to be an out call, and yes, they quickly resolve that, recognize, okay, ran out of space. So yes, just a small lapse in concentration there for Hong Kong, giving up the disc.
Exactly.
I think the first time that the D-line offense of Freakshow have actually given the disc back. So I think fortunate, I think Hong Kong will be breathing a sigh of relief.
And again, another chance for Hong Kong to get their first point in this game. So we'll see how it goes here. Again, you're definitely correct. They're moving quite well in terms of east side to side. and be able to punch through that zone defense. But it's really about, oh, wow, and a quick hawk there from Hong Kong, deciding they don't want to wait any longer.
That was Gigi Lam, who was looking for Chuk Him Sil. Unfortunately, that one floats out the sidelines.
And it looks like probably Hong Kong didn't want to really give any chance for Freakshow to set up their zone defense. Decided
that they went, oh, let's just get it out of here.
Correct. But I think problem is it sailed out of bounds quite a little nearer than they wanted it to be. So
yeah, I think the execution. I like the look from Gigi Lam for that big huck. I like the fact that they're staying aggressive. I think that's really important when you're down 4-0, that you still try to play your game. Just unfortunate there in terms of the execution, and like you said, went out of bounds very much earlier. So Freakshow, their D-line O, after having given up the possession for their first time in this game, work their way nicely across to the far side. That's Wang. Gerald Wang with the disc, moves it up, a nice inside shot. They like their small channels and spaces.
But again, that's the second turnover Freakshow D-line now, showing a little bit of kinks in their armor, and just like that, a hawk for Hong Kong, who's going to win it in a D. Great read, but another call.
Yeah, absolutely. That is Al there having a chat with Chia, again, involved in the play here. So Chia obviously matching up on the assignments, trying to marshal that deep space and the long shots. So interesting, Hong Kong have gone for, when there's opportunity, go long. And I guess, even if you don't come down to this, you've still got good field position, right? So, taking the chances. Like I said, I like the fact that they're still staying aggressive.
Correct. I mean, it's about keeping it unpredictable for the D-line of Freakshow. Like, look, if you're going to shut down our in-cuts, then we have enough skill to be able to throw those beautiful hawks as well, as you can see.
So the sport of Ultimate being a self-refereed sport means that the players need to come to a conclusion together. The game advisors are there to, they can provide their perspective if asked by the players, and they can also assist with clarification of the rules, but it's the responsibility of each individual player to know the rules and execute and discuss them in good spirit. So that one is a contested foul, which means that the disc will go back to the most recent
uncontested
possession, yes. And so we'll see what Hong Kong do here. Will they go for another long option, or will they perhaps try to punch through the small ball?
Probably at this, looking at how everyone's situated, probably will stick to the small ball first, given that defense have already been set for Freakshow, so they already know they are going to expect those throws if it's going to be executed or done.
Yeah, and the receivers just working out where their starting position was in relation to that possession. And a good option to swing. Nice work to use the width of this field. Now Ho for Hong Kong.
You see a lot of pressure from that cup against those handlers, and it looks like
a stall called, but it feels like it was a short stall count for 10. Yeah, so like you said, the cup collapsing, very aggressive, whether or not there was a double team potentially as well. I think we have seen that the Singaporean zone defenses, the front wall, the front cup do often kind of squeeze in quite a lot. But it does mean that there might be space over the top. And as we talked about, there's not a lot of wind today. Can Hong Kong maybe exploit that, some high release shots or overhead throws?
Exactly. And just as you said that, they just right on cue called it. And there's some...
I don't know if there's perhaps a violation or...
It looks like...
For some hand signals. Injury... I hope not.
Hopefully nothing too major with the Hong Kong player there. Looks like she got... And it looks like she's standing tall, and the disc will go back.
Okay, looks like it might be a violation. I think I saw one of the hand signals in terms of when that disc came in play, people weren't in the right spot. It's unfortunate because I thought that was a really nice shot, and she goes for it again, but this time it is defended. Freakshow, D-line humming along, and there'll be another pause in play and another violation. thank you to the game advisors for confirming with the hand signals.
And you're seeing a lot of violations early in the first half of this game.
Yeah,
see if it's going to be something to watch out for. But
so players may be moving a little bit earlier than when the disc was tapped in, but Hong Kong do maintain possession this time, and they do squeeze it over the top. Lam now using it well. Small ball with Al. And Al, a nice fake, makes that cut move. Nice behind, and a nifty little scuba there by Lam.
You can see this zone defense, or the first wall of Freakshow, really extremely aggressive. Really making them force just really side-to-side action here, and that's going well for Freakshow.
Yeah, for sure. Hong Kong haven't really gained too much despite having passed it 5 or 6 times, but another scuba by Lam here opens up the space, forces the cup to have to go all the way to the far sideline. So good work by Lam, a couple of scubas in here.
But I think that's really what you want from a Freakshow zone defense perspective. We're happy with those type of throws, right? But it gives you, and just so you said that Hong Kong able to punch it through against that cup, and they quickly send it over to the end zone with a great read and block.
Whoa, we were just saying that the Hong Kong offense were kind of moving it along, but Freakshow just chipping away. In the end, they force the errant higher risk throw and are able to get the D. Like you said, John, so that cup is forcing it to the sideline. They're okay with Hong Kong throwing those high lofty throws. They're just going to start again. Play that patience game. Make Hong Kong frustrated. Make them lose their patience and make them lose the option like that throw. So Hong Kong really falling prey into Freakshow's hands at the moment. And a timeout has been called. So we will take a breath along with the teams. And that timeout, very timely. Hopefully a chance for Hong Kong, China to regroup. I don't think they're playing badly, John. I think it's just a couple of executions.
Correct.
They are really falling prey to doing what Singapore defense are trying to make them do. They just need a couple of small adjustments, maybe just a little bit more focus and concentration on the throws. But certainly Freakshow putting on a show here, an absolute clinic for Love, and they work things up quite quickly. That's on the far sideline with Ong. Oh, and a big layout attempt here, unsuccessful. Up to Wang. High shot to Ting. And that is a wide shot, but a fantastic D, well read by Hong Kong, and that is a fantastic highlight there for their team. Hopefully that will get their team up and going.
Just like that, Freakshow still back at their zone defense.
So Lam and Chung working their female matching handlers, going to work, and Gigi Lam again with another scuba, and they go a long option. looking for the receiver, but that one is going to fade out of bounds ahead of Seal.
Fatigue is definitely playing a factor. It seems like they want to end this point as quickly as fast as they can already, given how long this point has been played out.
Yeah, look, like I said, I like Hong Kong's strategy of going aggressive and going for the long hucks, but, you know, they've tried that 3 or 4 times and haven't come up with a successful completion yet. So I think, look, let's maybe revise the plan. Maybe we can try a little bit more small ball, a bit more movement to open up some other spaces to attack. And, you know, it's a bit of like keep doing the same thing in the same result. Okay, so Freakshow with a lovely around break here. Gerald Wang with the disc. Or moves it up quickly to cheer, and there's a call of some sort.
So travel's being called, as I'm hearing from the sideline. Some hand signals. But again, Freakshow really moving quickly. And they also want to get this point out of the window as well. Longest point they've had for the D-line.
Yeah, it's multiple turnovers, right, John?
Yep. So in total, like Hong Kong's already generated, has gotten 4 turnovers at this point, and then for Freakshow, their third turnover, they're having 3 turnovers already.
Yeah, so this is like the first multi-turnover point, because every other one we were just saying how clean the Singaporean D-line offense has been. So certainly the players feeling the heat here in this point. No sun today, but certainly still very, very humid. And I think without the wind relief, it almost does feel as hot as yesterday. Yeah,
yes, exactly.
And so good communication from the defense, no arounds, but Freakshow quickly work it up the open side and ultimately go up 5-zip. That is through Jia Yi Tam. So feels like Freakshow have settled into the rhythm. They look really, really strong and in tune and in sync with each other.
Correct, and just Jia Yi Tam, all smiles from her, be able to finally finish that point.
Yeah, I think relief from all players to be able to get off the pitch. We did have a timeout to try to get things going, but yeah, those tired legs, I think, starting to feel effect.
Just a recap, that was 16 minutes on that point alone, the longest that we've seen so far. So definitely both lines gonna feel extra tired, especially for the O-line of Hong Kong. So definitely we're gonna see some change of lines for sure after that. So far for Freakshow, it's a balance of, I mean, it's all throughout. Not one player is really showing who's leading this pack. So it's a well-balanced effort against with Freakshow on that. But if there's someone that we'd like to call up from the team, I think Caleb Tan, number 2 from Freakshow, having 3 total stats for this tournament alone. So something to look out.
Yeah, as Hong Kong offense try to get things going, I think they've made a little bit of a switch up in the personnel on these lines. Not the kind of classic handlers, Lam and Au, as we've seen in the previous points. So perhaps giving their D-line and a few of the other players a run with some fresher legs. I think that's a good idea. Kept disc moving nicely. And as we say that, Freakshow just step in front and get the intercept block. And now Hong Kong having to play D again. Freakshow, again, the stack so far away, so relying on the 3 handlers in a kind of triangle formation. But they make plenty of space for the receiver connection there, move things smoothly.
Beautiful movement from Freakshow so far.
And Freakshow making very nice use of the width. This is Vivian Lee working together with Wei Han Lim. And quickly off through to the end zone. That is a score by Jamie Chua. So Freakshow, business as usual, it seems. They managed to get the block and then convert it immediately without giving the disc back up.
Exactly, and I think it's wonderful that they're recovering from their 4-point loss against Ghana yesterday. So they look to recover and clinical performance at that with this early 6-0 lead.
As we see here, really nice set. As you see, nice fake, makes the mark move. That little jump around and a beautiful lefty high release flick. You saw two players actually go into that space, so clearly they knew that that was a space they were looking to attack. They knew that the thrower had that in the arsenal.
And it goes to show in terms of the chemistry with all of these players, like knowing that, just seeing those two players that right there, knowing that that throw is definitely available. So looks like the twice a week training and one training of strength and conditioning is paying off for Freakshow.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the conditions like this, still no wind, suit them to a T as well. So I think really a perfect way to start day 2 for Freakshow, like you said, making sure they get off on a positive foot after disappointing loss yesterday. So we've got Gigi, Lam and Ho back on field here in the handling space. Move things up to Chung. And Singapore again with a zone defense, but slightly different look compared to the other zones.
Correct. Yes. Good. Got that attention as well. And as you can see, it's a lot of...
Oh, that one's a low shot, but manages to keep it off the pitch.
And it's an all-female cup zone. Really great confidence from Freakshow to be able to
I was just about to say, surely they're going to go an overhead throw, and it does go up indeed over, like you said, the slightly shorter cup of the female matching players. But look, I like Hong Kong's patience. It's about, can they stay patient the whole way? Because they're really only up to their defending brick mark, John.
It's just like when they decide to go near their end zone, it's where patience go out of the window for Hong Kong. So just keep the steady pace, to your point, partner.
Yeah, look, I think the handlers are working really well. Oh, they finally do work it through the poppers. Positioned well there. Yeah, I was just about to say, I think the handlers are doing well to move side to side, but I don't see much coordination with the connecting downfield. So that kind of next wall, this is it. This is the one they need. So Lam gets a nice kind of upline shape on that cut, but now they have to settle to go side to side. So here, there's that space. You can see all that paddock in front. That's the space that next player needs to attack, right?
The popper should come, definitely.
That's right, because once they get it to that far side, there's space available. So you need to be there to get the continuation.
And I think just some more mindfulness from the handlers. Like, look, if I don't see any options up front, just quickly swing the disc to the other side so that Freakshow would have to tire themselves out moving side to side, and that's the whole point if you're the handlers. Yeah,
so I think the handlers doing well. It's just the poppers. Oh, and that is a nice lefty, I think lefty hammer? Beautiful shot. Hong Kong showing that they've also got plenty of disc. Oh, that's the one through the middle. Open up the cup, continuation. This is it. If Hong Kong can contain it, they're on their doorstep. And yes, they do get on the board. Hong Kong, steady zone offense. Managed to peg one back, 1-6.
I think that's the first clean hold.
Yes.
Throughout this game for Hong Kong, for sure, and first point, and great showing for them. Finally on the board.
Yeah, so we saw that handler swinging work really well, but the lack of poppers. And then when they got past kind of half field, the poppers kind of were like, woke up and went, oh, that's right, this is the space for supposed to attack. And then you see here that handler, picking the holes through that cup. And once they get past that first ball, very difficult for the defense to catch up. So look at how excited Hong Kong are. Min Young getting on the board. Very pleased with the efforts.
Indeed. Exactly. After a long fought for the last few points, definitely it's mentally draining, not able to put something on the board. But finally, see if this is going to jumpstart any comeback from them. A huge hole they are in, but still in the first half. So I think just have to build momentum from here on out. And so
hey team.
And we're back on the stream, and looks like Singapore Freakshow.
So Freakshow starting on O this time. Feels like it's been a long time since they started at the point on offense.
Exactly. So this is their first crack to see their offensive line.
And work it very smoothly, already well past the brick mark. And Hong Kong pulling out it looks like a match, but a bit of a poachy one. Lots of switching here, and that does expose the upline cut on the doorstep. And Freakshow, very efficient offensive hold. That one.
Second clean hold for the Singaporean mixed team. And as you mentioned, Hong Kong trying to give them a different look, right? In terms of somewhat of a match poachy defense, right? Match person poachy defense there. But again, in that type of defense, communication is definitely key there. And if they really want to put that defense out, communication is going to be something on top of their mind.
Yeah, it's really tough, right? Because it's been a long time since they've started on defense, so you're kind of like, okay, like what can we put out? What can we do to kind of disturb their offense?
Correct.
Look, I like the look of that poachy match. I think they just got burnt on that upline cut, right?
Yeah.
Like, with the switching, it just exposed that way too easily. Whereas I think when we saw some of their tight match defense before, they were really dedicated with stopping the uplines, and that actually worked in their favour. So if they can continue really prioritising stopping that upline cut into that pocket, I think they will certainly force the Singaporean offence to work a little bit harder and maybe force a couple of errors.
Exactly.
But Freakshow humming along superbly at the moment. Easy as you like. Very pleased at the moment, and we do have half at 8, so Freakshow up 7-1. This will be Hong Kong's offensive point to start.
I won't be surprised if we see that zone defense again, especially that all-female cup. And it looks like...
Oh, what a D there. Freakshow, freaky D. Marching out, they want to take half. They want to put this one away. Can see the players working hard upfield. Ong now, a little dishy. Wang. Oh, and a lovely shot. Just making use of that open side way too easily. Freakshow take half emphatically 8-1 up against Hong Kong.
And that was number 9, Peishan Jamie Chua, sending Freakshow to half with a 7-point lead.
As the players take a well-earned break in this first half. Seeing how they finished this point. Like we said, just attacking this open side, you know, getting the shoulder. You saw Jamie Chua attack one shoulder of her defender and then go to the other shoulder. So she attacked one shoulder, made the defender turn, and then she knew that she could go anywhere she wanted. So I really like how clinical Freakshow have been on in the first half, particularly their D-line offense. I think there's only one time they gave possession back, and that was a multi-turnover point. But once they get possession, they look very difficult to stop. So kudos to Freakshow. Very smooth first half up against Hong Kong, 8-1.
hear you. Oh, okay. Okay.
And we have the first half. This time, Freakshow starting on defense. Hong Kong on O. And Freakshow come down with, again, another reliable zone.
And I think this is an opportunity for HK's offense to really try to recover from that first half. And
Big Hut goes up. 2-on-1, but this time the one wins out. And there is a call on the throw, John. I think there's a travel indicated by the hand signals. So a real shame, Hong Kong. This time, again, looking for that long huck option, and the receiver actually coming down with the disc.
not sure where the travel is. And just trying to remember the action. At least he did not change. Looks like he didn't change his direction at all. And that was a clean huck to begin with. So, but again, I mean, the call will stand. It'll stay back here for Hong Kong.
It's always hard because lefties, right? They have a different pivot point.
Correct,
So
correct. That usually happens.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It might look like they're traveling, but actually it's just their lefty pivot. But, you know, it seems like they accepted the call, so the disc will stay in the hands of Chung.
And we have 96 people watching on the stream. I'm sure a lot of people from Hong Kong are up and early supporting their national team. So thank you for all the viewers globally that's watching this nice mixed, division game between Freakshow and Hong Kong.
And a lovely lefty hammer over the top to get over the cup. As we said, the height here of the female matching players allowing that over the top a little bit more. But Hong Kong doing well to move the disc from side to side. Again, just need a little bit more movement from those poppers to try and cycle through. They've now got 4 players back having to retreat.
I was just saying, I think in terms of the handers of Hong Kong, they have to space a little closer with each other. But as you can see, 4 handers now for Hong Kong trying to generate some offense.
So Hong Kong, again, maintaining control, staying patient, lots of possessions, not afraid to hold on. Oh, I like those hammers. Is that one in? Yes. They continue on, having broken through the first 2 lines of defense.
Courageous throw that. I mean, Hong Kong had to be able to focus and catch that disc.
I have to say, that's a beautiful shot through, very precise. And they are in the red zone now. Al, he can smell the goal here. Goes over the head of Lam, but she wasn't the intended receiver. In fact, Wang comes up with the disc. Chung, lefty here, nice and poised and controlled. Can Hong Kong stay patient?
And noticing Hong Kong is there's more conscious effort, like let's say 1 to 3 counts. If there's nothing happening, they just swing the disc. And that's really building their confidence, right?
Agreed. They keep the disc moving. They keep the defenders on their toes, not allowing the disc to stay in one position too long. The thing that I've noticed as well, coming out of half, the communication has been a lot better. In terms of the Hong Kong players, you can kind of see them using their hands and motioning where they want the players to be. I can hear them say, no, it's not on. And as we say that is just a slight overthrow And Hong Kong give up the disc after working so hard up the field.
So hard, just as when you see the handlers from Hong Kong doing a great job of communicating and moving the disc. Another turnover. That is already their 10th turnover in this game. And we were just talking about it in half where Hong Kong's got to limit their turnovers in the second half if they want any chance for a comeback.
Yeah, and look, there's been a combination, right? Some of the turnovers have been outright blocks by Freakshow, but there equally have been as many kind of execution errors that have come out of the throwers' hands. Oh, and that one's an overthrow by Freakshow, a rare error by their D-line on offense. So Hong Kong will get another bite at this cherry.
Rare at that. That's just only their 4th turnover in this game.
And there's some kind of stoppage. I was wondering why Gigi Lam was spending so much time wiping the disc, but not sure. Anyway, the disc starts back in play now.
You can see slight pickup on the wind to see if that's going to develop, but so far, same weather conditions as we start the game, and we're seeing a little bit of a sun coming out, so that's going to play huge factor.
So we see Tung coming back. He hasn't been in the handler space as much, but good to see some rotation. Like we were saying, we think it's really important to get the Hong Kong offense moving. Oh, and that is a lovely overhead scuba. Beautiful over the top. And surely Hong Kong with a layout to boot. What a highlight. Hong Kong offense getting the job done through Jane Chung with the layout grab in the end zone. She was perfectly positioned for that scuba over the top, and then a quick 1-2 to finish off very nicely for Team Hong Kong.
Great recovery from those 2 turnovers from Hong Kong, and be able to get their 2nd point in this game so far. And look, I think just for something to highlight for Hong Kong, I mean, a really small ultimate community at that, so not a lot of chances for them to get international experience. They did, however, finish 6th overall for the mixed division in the last trio invitational in Malaysia. So I think, so speaking with Tom, one of their coaches, right, they're just really thankful that some of their players are now back in action. Most of them had some injuries, including Tom, coming from an ACL. It's just really good to see these players coming back competitively and being able to play despite injuries.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that even though this campaign has been going on for a year, they selected this team a year ago, and this is the first time that they've actually been able to get all the players on the pitch, right? And it goes to show that, you know, tournament experience and playing together and that chemistry, you know, we've talked about the difference between a club team who you've probably played years and years and years together, right, versus like a rep team where you're coming together from different clubs, having to build that chemistry when you can't get all the players out on the pitch. So hard to get those reps. So I'm sure the first couple of days here will be some discovery for Team Hong Kong China as Freakshow go on 0.
And it looks like this is the first time we'll see Hong Kong's zone defense featured. We'll see if they can create some chaos for Freakshow's offense.
Yeah, I like this defensive look, like slowing down Freakshow. Their offensive points have been very efficient and very quick. So the fact that they're just trying to get them to move the disc, pin them back, and make them work a little harder for these offensive points. Very good strategic move.
And there's a lot of focus from the Hong Kong zone defense of junking that middle portion of the zone, just really forcing Freakshow to just move it side to side and let the handlers create the offense for them.
Yeah, I like the second wall. The second wall, you can see they're moving in and out, so they're covering the under and then they're covering the deep. Oh, and here, perfectly read by the deep of Hong Kong defense. So defensive line getting their first opportunity for a break.
First turnover of the Freakshow's O-line at that, so...
Oh, a little bit of contact on that one. Lau just, I think, copping something in the face, so a little bit of a slap to the face, a high five, and she gets things underway.
A high five to the face.
Oh, that one, unfortunately, just an underthrow there. The receiver was in the space, but the throw wasn't to target. Freakshow offense get the disc back.
And they quickly move it forward, not letting Hong Kong set their zone defense. And looks like they're going to move away from that and stick to match Persian defense here.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go match. You don't have time to really set things up when Freakshow moving things so quickly. And easy as you like, Freakshow make amends for... Oh, and there's a travel called. So, goal not quite there yet. Hong Kong D-line not getting too many opportunities so far on the field, but certainly trying to make the most of it. Can they get possession of Freakshow? Oh.
great defense, but looks like a foul is going to be called on that marking. But you can see that effort from Hong Kong to really just try to generate another turnover. And I think just to really recap on the mixed divisions pool play, every game matters here on out now. Like one loss or one win can definitely...
second time of asking Freakshow O-line get the job done. Didn't let that turnover phase him at all. So Freakshow up 9-2. Business as usual here in the second half.
Business as usual for Freakshow at that. With their 9th score now. And just when you thought Hong Kong was going to get some momentum from their D-line. But if you're Hong Kong, that's good showing from their zone defense. Like, look, it looks like if I were them and say, hey, it's working well for us, let's try to shoot it again later in the later part of the
game. Absolutely. I think, they generate an opportunity. That's
Correct.
Step one, right? And then step two was actually converting. And to be honest, it was a good look. It was just that execution. Again, like we said, that one's really bit them in the bum a few times today. And Freakshow just so clinical at the moment. Again, such a well-drilled and high chemistry team, I think. They're going to look to hopefully push deep into this tournament.
Definitely, for sure. Definitely want to push deeper into this tournament to pay homage to their OGs of Freakshow. Again, 30 years of their team in existence in Singapore. And it's really just shows you how the nation is a sustainable program in terms of ultimate frisbee as a sport in their country.
Yeah, and interestingly, like I said, talking to the coach Brandon earlier, it actually started off as an expat group.
Yes.
And then kind of evolved over the years and now predominantly a group of, local players for Singapore, and lots of them making the national rep teams as well. So I think it's, like I said, showed the longevity of the club and the community and keeping in touch with the alumni, making sure that they're still involved and invited to events and hats and things like that. I think, there's some attractiveness at becoming part of community, and I think that's a really great way for clubs to grow.
Correct, exactly. I think they've been very, very happy in terms of how they're able to financially support these players right throughout the way they organize their tournaments and their hat tournaments. So really kudos to them.
Yeah, so Hong Kong O-line working things well. Oh, and that's an aggressive shot by Chung, the outside in backhand. That is a beautiful score by Chuk Him Sil. So Hong Kong O-line, another clean O point.
Oh, and it looks like one of the Singaporean players got blood. There's hopefully nothing too major from that layout attempt to try to stop that play. But going back to Hong Kong, a courageous throw and a really confident throw. Like, look, I can see you have a little bit of an edge. I'm just going to put it right there on that spot as you look at that beautiful throw.
Yeah, so this lefty look like fake on the lefty forehand. Makes the mark move, and then this open side throw, like I said, very little separation, but he trusted his receiver. That perfect edge, the perfect shape to that throw, that outside in to fall into the lap made it very difficult for the defense to get near it, although best efforts. And I have to say, very respectful, I think they realised that the Freakshow opponent had maybe had a bit of injury or hurt himself. There wasn't, super loud cheering or rushing onto the field and things like that, despite, this is pretty exciting for Hong Kong.
Exactly.
Very respectful, I think.
Exactly. Respectful at that, being able to, and I think that's really about the sport, really, right? Just knowing, just reading the room in terms of when is it appropriate to have those type of cheers or when it's not to really tend to the person that got injured.
And I think now's the time, right? Like Hong Kong they've managed to convert, which means that D-line can get on field.
Exactly.
Will we see that zone again that was so effective, their previous D point? Okay, so it does look like they're going for a zone, but this one's a little bit more, I guess, standing off the mark, right? Not so aggressive.
So I think what I'm seeing is like they have only one marker, and his two other cups right behind that marker. So it's interesting to see. And
that is an uncharacteristic bobble and drop. Ooh, so Hong Kong D-line showing the goods.
Correct. And in this second half alone, that's already the third turnover for Singapore. And just to show how Hong Kong's defense is responding.
Oh, and that is a high backhand, but another backhand, perfectly shaped throw.
Taking full advantage of the weather.
Oh, and that's an around break. I think the mark may have got a finger on it to deflect. So unfortunate error there by the D-line offense. So again, an opportunity. Maybe that one's gone begging, John.
Again, like it's just missed opportunities and missed opportunities after another for Hong Kong. But see if, I mean, they can definitely confidently generate the turnovers.
Oh, and a high release there by Freakshow. No mistake this time on the receiving end. And Freakshow moving up pretty easily, I'd say. I think Hong Kong really need to work on covering that open side. They are absolutely getting smashed. So they do well now. Move it around to the break side. But again, they move it to the break and then straight back to the open. Almost that boomerang play. And that break around goes awry. Oh, Freakshow. Oh my God, geez, that was a bit of a missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. And I think just for Hong Kong's defense, just looking at their match person defense, they're just trying to guard too many. Like, just pick one side, I think is one advice that they can. I'm noticing. Like, they're trying to guard everything. The break side, open side, which opens up the field for Freakshow, right? So for Hong Kong's sake, just try to stick on what force you're trying to give. And I think you'll be in good hands. But here again, Hong Kong D-line, another chance.
Yeah.
Able to convert some points here.
Let's hope they can make some ground, but someone's gone to the ground there.
Some contact there. Hopefully nothing too major. Looks like both players are fine. Dusting off that little contact.
So stuck on that far sideline, and the force is to that far side. Oh, bobble, but a save.
Sticky hands.
Oh, and that's an aggressive shot. Look, I don't think the shape came out as Shed intended. It fell well short of the intended target. So Freakshow with half a field to work with. Again, attacking the open side. I like the defensive effort there. Hong Kong not afraid to get on ground. But Freakshow now, again, in control. Oh, and that's a cheeky lefty backhand and continue there for the score. And that is Vivian Lee getting herself on the scoreboard with a nice goal.
Cheeky overhand throw from Singapore to open up the field for them. You can see some of the Hong Kong players gasping for air after that grueling point.
So the D-line generating 2 opportunities in that point, John, but unable to convert those. So just the, I guess, offensive precision not quite there.
Exactly. I think the offensive precision not there for Hong Kong. So if you look back at this, the excellent movement from Freakshow.
Yeah, it was just that lefty backhand that opened things up, didn't it? And like we said, Freakshow's continue cuts have just been on song here. So, you know, they just have that trust and belief, right, in their teammates that they know that this is going to be a completion. So I can cut assuming that the completion's going to happen. And yeah, I think that's, you know, a little bit of a difference with Hong Kong at the moment. They're, you know, a little bit uncertain, you know, partially because of the Singaporean pressure, but also, you know, in terms of, oh, should I go now? You know, the timing either a bit late, a little bit early, or not at all. And so just that hesitation, I think, has been, a bigger part of the game and really affected,
correct.
You know, the outcome.
Indeed, right. And I think just going back for Hong Kong, right, I think it's just trying to be extra careful with this, and looks like Freakshow is going to go back to their patented zone defense and to really disrupt and provide more chaos. Oh, great grab from Freakshow, able to generate the turnover. Again, great zone defense from the Freakshow lineup.
And Freakshow now. Oh, that's a fantastic bid by Lam. I don't know if she touched the disc, but she forced the error. And Hong Kong now with a chance back on offense.
Great response from the female player, going all out, full extension to create their own chaos of their own.
Oh, and this Singapore D just forcing Hong Kong back into the end zone. A lucky escape here to move things forward. You can see the communications gesturing for his teammates to come closer. I
was just going to say, like, some of the Hong Kong players are just moving way too far out, and that's just going to limiting the options of the Hong Kong handlers, right? And here, great defense here, forcing on the sideline and making them throw those risky passes.
Yeah, like you say, that it's just that kind of second line of offense, right? That under space in front of the disc. I think Hong Kong, you know, upfield cutters are very hesitant to go into that space at the moment.
Yes.
And so, you know, they're making those handlers have to swing and swing and swing. And they're doing a really good job of it, but I just think they need, some movement downfield to move that cup and give them some more creative and attacking options. Right now you can see the first line and the second line of the Freakshow defense not really having to adjust work hard, but now, as I say, they managed to get one over the top and expose, the defenders creeping in too much.
But that's just some few passes that you can be able to do that. They're not being consistent. If they wanted to really create chaos for the zone defense, and quick movement now for Hong Kong.
So doing well, maintaining patience in this point. I'm sure the Freakshow defenders are also starting to tire out and, moving it side to side, just trying to get them a bit with gas. And now they're going aggressive shot. That is a beautiful throw. Hong Kong. Now their O-line starting to tick. We have Chek Him Seal again in the receiving end with the very, very cool as you like. I love the sunnies there. Real signature look as well with the long hair and their hairband. And Hong Kong China very, very pleased with their efforts there from the O-line.
And that's Su's second point in this tournament now. Looks like he's a person that the Hong Kongs are trying to fix, at least for the handlers, fixing their attention, generating a lot of the offense for them so far.
Yeah, that's 2 goals to Chek Him Seal and 2 assists from Man Shun Chung. So a couple of their male-matching players leading the stats board. You can see, and that was Gigi Lam who had that fantastic layout bid on D. Like I said, I don't know if she actually managed to make contact with the disc, but her presence and just that flash in front of the receiver was enough to affect the turnover.
And that's what they all that's anything that you can ask from a defensive line, right? Look, we're not looking for the hand blocks. We're not looking for those those flashy defensive points, right? It's just about your presence alone can help.
Yeah,
right?
Actually, that was their O-line, and we saw
yes.
Yeah, we saw like earlier in the first half when the Hong Kong O-line turned it over. Freakshow were just able to get clean breaks,
yes.
But this time the Hong Kong O-line, you know what? We're in this for a fight. They seem to have woken up in the second half. Oh, and that's an overthrow by Freakshow. So Hong Kong D-line again with another opportunity. This is their third D-line point where they've had an opportunity to break. Can they succeed in this one? Oh, slips just under the hands of the poaching defender. And a nice shape. I'm really liking the shapes of some of these throws from Hong Kong. They're using that slight blade to make sure that it falls straight into the lap of their receiver.
Exactly. And just going back to Freakshow, very uncharacteristic, right? In terms of their error.
Yeah, I mean, pressure from Hong Kong has risen as well. Chung now with the disc. Upline cut looked off the field coming. Defense hot on the heels. Oh, that's a cheeky high-release flick there. I love the confidence to do that.
Wow.
Oh, and Cheng goes in a round backhand. And that is a break to Pu Yan Wu. Hong Kong, China, spirits up, points up. That is a break on the board.
Amazing throw there. As you mentioned, the shapes of their throws just improving from one pass to another. Amazing showing from the Hong Kong D-line there, partner.
Pu Yan Wu, haven't really seen her presence too much on the field, but certainly making it count in this point. And I think, like we said, that beautiful, initially that high release flick, and then, for the pre-assist, and then the beautiful shape on that backhand around outside in.
Again, full display of skill. That's not an easy throw there, Av.
Not at all. And very small gaps,
exactly.
Right?
Very tight down the line throw to be able to
pinpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Pinpoint it right on his opponent. I mean, his teammates' laps, right? Yeah. Amazing throw.
So impressive. And I feel like we've been building up to this, John, right? The last 3 points that Hong Kong have started on D, their D-line have generated the turnovers, yeah? It's just the conversion. And gosh, aren't they excited? That's their first break of the game, and what a time to come alive. I mean, it feels like it's almost the second team in the second half, right?
Correct.
They've completely flipped the tables.
Exactly. And I think just in the second half, they're they're like point by point, right, between these two teams. So you can see that definitely HK team is rising to the occasion to really try to get up to this point, or to get back to this game.
Yeah, and just looking at the second half scoreline, I mean, Freakshow started with a break, but then it's been hold, and then Hong Kong with the break. So it's actually evens if we're just looking at the second half.
Exactly. So see if they can generate more turnovers for Hong Kong's defense.
Yeah, so Freakshow working up beautifully. Oh, that inside flick for days. And Freakshow just so smooth on offense, moving it up so fast. Very little time for the defenders to reset and find their position. Oh! And that's an amazing layout, G! That was absolute instinct. Just turned around, managed to affect the disc. Gosh, Hong Kong D-line getting their work done.
And just noticing that, I saw that other Hong Kong player poaching on that middle position, just trying to stop any forward motions. And he was just right at the right time and right position.
Yeah, he was actually following his own opponent and then kind of realized, oh, actually this is going that well. Just quickly turn and try and affect it. And gosh, what a great reaction, instinctual D.
Again, Hong Kong defense generating another turnover now. Let's see if they can convert this and just cut the deficit into 4.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they had at halftime, but I want what they were having.
Exactly. Probably some Red Bull or perhaps some energy drink that could have jumpstart their offense. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, and a big aggressive shot goes up. Looking, oh, it's floating. It's floating. Will it go out the back? Oh, and she bids. Unfortunately for Stephanie Lau. Oh, and she's taking a little while to get up, taking a breath. Probably a little winded from that attempt. I like the look, though. Yeung went for it. He went, oh, she's got separation. You know, she's got the space on defender. Just asking Lau to go for it. I think a bit unlucky as well. The wind kind of gusted.
I was just going to say, it felt like the throw was perfect. Weather conditions, all it was just floating right. But at the last second, all of a sudden, the disc went faster than she anticipated.
Yes, it kind of went up a bit higher and then further. But I think if it had, followed the original projection, it should have got there. Mm-hmm. Oh, geez, that was a bloody
very
play.
Unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Hong Kong. But here again, Freakshow starting at their own end zone.
Oh, and there's a travel called, it looks like.
And this will go back. As you can see, the motion from number 21, Cheong. So you can see there, it looks like a motion of a travel call from Cheong of Hong Kong against Wang from Freakshow.
So some good discussion, as we said, the players just providing each other's perspectives and then coming to a resolution. So do they agree or not agree? Travel was the call, wasn't it, John?
It is travel as a call, and I think usually, in my perspective, I usually won't take so much time if a travel is called to just, return back. Exactly. There's some discussion, but travel's gonna stand, so just.
Oh, that was just standing in the space, making the defender go and blindsiding. And again, this upline cut by Freakshow, so powerful. Oh, and almost some help defense getting in the way. Lau trying to make amends for that misreception before, and there's a bit of contact here and a foul called. Fair enough. It's going to affect his next play on the disc.
Exactly. And I think it just goes to show how the level of play is now rising.
Yes.
You can see the Hong Kongs definitely want to get back into this game.
The intensity has gone up a level, maybe 3 levels.
3 levels for sure. Oh, and just like that, Hong Kong able to get...
What a defensive intercept. There's going to be a call.
And it looks like from the motion of the Singaporean player, it felt like had some contact from the back that caused him to move. Now the question is, was it enough? Was it a minor or major contact that would make the Freakshow player unable to get that disc? I felt it was a minor contact if you were asking me, but it's up to these two players and now with the game advisors as well to discuss what's the right decision.
That's right. So Chung using some hand gestures to communicate his perspective on the situation. And Freakshow, I believe that's Gerald Wang, who's now providing his opinion on what happened.
But again, Hong Kong upping up their defensive intensity, and looks like it's going to be a contested call at that. Return back to the...
Shame for Hong Kong. I thought that was a real fantastic read, just to get one step in front and take that line in between the thrower and the receiver. And so Freakshow will maintain possession.
So we go back with Wei Yi Chan. short field for Freakshow to work on.
I'm not sure if that's a violation signal or a Superman signal.
Probably a Superman signal from the latest movie. But here we go, Freakshow.
Oh, and just too easy for Freakshow. They get that point on the board just to take the wind out of the sails, I think, of Hong Kong a little bit after they got the energy up with their first break of the game. Freakshow go, you know what? Easy, steady on, we got this, no worries. So I think well done to Freakshow for maintaining their composure despite giving up the possession a couple of times. They did manage to secure that offensive hold.
And that's Hong Wei Gerald Wang with the score. Just look at this replay. Very ecstatic at that. A gentle spike, perhaps. A respectful
Disrespect,
spike.
yeah.
Disrespect. Enough to say, hey, that was a really long point, but not enough to destroy the disc.
Disrespect or disrespect?
World play at that, my friend. But here we are, Freakshow with a 6-point lead. Is it too little, too late again for Hong Kong? But again, I won't count them out. They've come... I mean, from their last game against the Japan team, they were down 2-0, able to force a universal point at that, but this is a large margin for them to catch up, so we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, if we look at the first half only, it's basically even. So, look, no matter what happens in terms of the result of this game, Hong Kong can hold their heads proud, and I'm sure when they watch back, particularly at the second half of this stream, they'll be very pleased with the efforts. As we see the offense working out. So, Freakshow opting for a match defense, John.
Yes, that. Oh, and just trailing behind that gutter, really driving the intensity of their match defense.
Yeah, so, look, I think this is a win for Hong Kong, right? They've actually forced Freakshow to go to their match because they've recognized that their zone isn't working, right?
Exactly. Like, it's a little bit of, in an ultimate, it's a little bit of a chess, right? Like, am I forcing you? Like, how are you going to respond on what I'm going to shell out as far as defense goes, and who's going to flinch first? It looks like Freakshow is flinching as they switch to a match person defense now. Huge for Hong Kong for sure mentally.
So out with the disc as a violation. It's unfortunate. I think a couple of times with the stoppages, people haven't really been set or going early, and
exactly.
maybe a few too many for this game for my liking, John.
A little bit, yes. I mean, I mean, again, it's a little bit where you notice, are the violations somewhat dictating the pace of the game, and we hope that it will be a little bit lesser. But again, we can't control what it's being called or not.
And that was a great bid by Lam, but I think that disc came in very quickly and just bounced off her body a little bit too quick to stop the rotation. So Freakshow now with a chance for a break.
And very unfortunate for Hong Kong, just when you thought that there was momentum building from those first early points and breaks.
Yeah, momentum and confidence, John. But Freakshow doing really well to stem the tide. They're now on this sideline. They try to trap it, but they get the around break. You can see the low pivots and the really stable center of gravity for all of their throwers. You can see the quads working. Oh, bobble! And that is a drop. And I would say that's a cold one too, John.
Exactly, right. And just I was going to comment how great of a handler movement is with Freakshow. They just turned this over. Oh,
overthrow, but the scraps! And that's an amazing layout grab! Hong Kong working their way with some confidence and some pizzazz.
Full extension at that. Amazing presence of mind and athleticism to keep that disc alive.
And a big shot goes up a huck to the far side. Can Lam get the yes? She can! Hong Kong with the score. And not much celebration. There is some chat about maybe whether she was in or out.
I think the discussion is when she made that tumble, did she lose possession? And that's a discussion, and it looks like, I think that's where Freakshow's point of view, as we look at the replay.
Big shot goes up, and you see, oh, so you did see the edge of the disc perhaps touch the ground. Did she have control of it or not?
Exactly, and that's where the discussion is. Looks really tight there. I can't make a decision if She indeed lost possession as she was tumbling to get the disc.
Very tricky situation. I mean, it's a spicy disc, right? It was coming in thick and fast, very low. I mean, incredible effort to get her hands under it. But like you said, it was that initial catch and then the disc kind of tumbled and, yeah, whether it made contact. But looks like they're going to agree that it was a goal and a spectacular way to score there. Gigi Lam getting the job done. That's been 2 goals scored by the female matching players on layouts.
Exactly, yeah. Female matching players, you can see the usual, I would say, a very cute celebration from the Hong Kong players. But I guess 2 times you've seen the female players shining through for Hong Kong to get them their 6th point, rather.
And apologies, that's Gigi Law. I've been mispronouncing it as Lam, so apologies. But very pleased. I think she's been doing so well in the handler space, and so really nice to see her sneak upfield. Look at that separation. The Singaporean Freakshow defenders had all snuck into the under space, and this has really opened up the long hucks. And I think this is probably Hong Kong's comfort zone, right? Like we saw early in the game, they went for quite a lot of long options and long hucks. They had to adapt, right? Because Freakshow were covering those options. As you said, it's like played a bit of chess, working out how you're going to adapt to what you're given.
Exactly, right. And who's going to flinch, right? So, again, if we're just looking at the second half, it's just really even between these two nations, right? It was just that early gap from the first half that's caused Hong Kong some trouble. So, again, let's see if they can mount any comeback here. 5 points. Looks huge on paper, but in ultimate, especially with the point cap and all, I mean, it's just a race of 15. Still a lot of ultimate left to be played.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got 100-minute soft caps, so certainly the games here, there's plenty more to go. That offensive score was at the 83 and 35 second mark, with our volunteers here on the scorekeeping and the timekeeping doing a fantastic job.
It looks like Hong Kong's going to go back to their zone defense, trying to slow down Freakshow's offense here. Again, who's going to flinch? And looks like that's what Hong Kong's asking to Freakshow.
Yeah, I like this Hong Kong zone. Like I said, you just kind of slow down the pace, right? And force them to throw maybe some high options with some float. Maybe you can sneak a hand in there. Just applying a bit of psychological pressure. But, that one is close to the sideline. Make good. Again, this is a high floaty one, but the defender unable to make up the meters.
Spicy throw from one side to another. Full confidence.
Yeah, and that's the score for Freakshow, and fairly straight. Oh, then there might be a call.
Looks like he wasn't. Yeah, there's the signal, but okay, it looks like they agreed that it was a score.
Okay. All right, so Freakshow, very efficient hold there.
Quick, in a good response. I think that's the quickest point that Freakshow had against Hong Kong's zone defense. So that will definitely build confidence for Freakshow against that kind of defense.
Yeah, I think the initial zone D stopped those, first few looks and actually pinned them back and forced them to swing.
Exactly.
But then once they got over the top, they just weren't able to contain that. So it's that second ball and that deep coordination that might be needing some fine-tuning.
And that was a beautiful throw against the tourney of Hong Kong, knowing that they were in a different position. And just a good side-to-side action there, from one side to another pass, rather. Good chemistry and skill displayed by Freakshow. You can see a lot of players now joining the stream. We already have 182 people now on the stream now. So thank you so much for joining the stream, and lovely to see your comments here on the YouTube channel in Word Flying Disc Federation. So really appreciate all the comments and feedback as well. We're definitely here, myself and Avril, here to make sure that we give you the best action. So your feedback is most welcome as well. Send it over the chat. And we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, I think some interesting points raised. As Hong Kong, a lovely inside flick. And I really like their attack here, the confidence in their cuts, and they look like, they're coming into this knowing that they've... and there's a pick called, so stoppage there. But I just feel like the confidence for Hong Kong has really risen up as well. And again, with intensity, it's always a fine balance between increasing intensity and becoming like over intense.
Correct.
That's when you kind of get errors. You want to be in that perfect like middle zone, I guess, right? In terms of having enough intensity to really attack, but enough composure to actually maintain possession. Where
you would say like you're in that perfect flow state where it's just natural for them.
And I like Hong Kong. They're really attacking the open side. So having the confidence to take their match-ups on defense. Oh, and that's a lovely around break, but that's a bobble. And again, just that little lapse of concentration.
It's just going to say how remarkable their movement from open side to break side it was during that point. Fortunate error again from Hong Kong.
And so Freakshow, their movement up pitch, looking very smooth again, attacking this open side. And some nice switching there for Hong Kong to cover that open side strike.
Great movement from side to side.
Yeah, so open side covered, no problem, Freakshow say. We'll just throw it to the break side.
You notice,
how did she get so free? That was a communication breakdown by the defense. And Freakshow get the job done. They sneak up to 13-6.
I was just going to compliment Freakshow. Not a lot of... They were really focused on the small ball. A lot of in-cuts. And just at the last second, looks like Hong Kong got a little too... focused on that small ball and let some of the Freakshow player either lonesome himself for that deep cut. So look at the replay on that last pass. All that small ball at the last second.
Yeah.
Look at the Freakshow. They're looking to seal this game with 2 points left, or I guess raise to 15, able to finish it up here.
And interestingly, you can see the flags in the background, right? The wind picking up a little for the first time in this game.
Exactly.
Is this going to maybe spell a little bit more challenge for Singapore, who have been, in their comfort zone, really, right? Cruising along this whole game.
We'll see, yes, because I think just speaking with two teams already from Singapore, they haven't really practiced in those type of situations or weather conditions. So we'll see if that's going to change the outcome for Hong Kong.
Yeah, quite a short pull, right? So certainly good field position. Interesting setup. So they've got the handler and the dump is set very far back. And this is why, because it opens space for that deep option. Red zone. Oh, is that going to be caught? That is a slight overthrow. Just too much air under that disc. Very unfortunate. That could have been the most efficient offensive point of Hong Kong's game.
And I think that was just, from his perspective, he just really wanted to finish that point, and that caused that error where he really wanted to quickly pass it to his teammate.
He just needed to wait maybe one more second for his teammate to kind of turn around and be aware, because I think her back was to the disc. She didn't know it had actually gone up, and then by the time she realised that, the defender had already gotten ahead. So very unfortunate, and I think we'll have a technical... okay, so I think the disc was maybe misshapen and there was like a technical call, but there's also now been a timeout called, so time to take a breath for both teams. We'll be back with you shortly. Separation they want, just double checking where he is in the lines, and Hong Kong with a little pizzazz sending kisses all the way home, saying thank you very much. I think that's the kind of best offensive passage of play we've seen from Hong Kong.
Yes, I mean, you're just seeing like how they attack the open side, and once that momentum has stopped, recognize, let's swing it back to the middle and attack to the break side, right?
Yeah.
Break recognition.
Yeah, and I think the difference here is that I don't know if it's just, playing against this match defense versus zone defense, but that continuation, right? So those downfield cutters, they're reading that continuation, trusting the completion, actually timing their cuts, and that's just making the offense so much easier overall.
Exactly, and again, great showing from Hong Kong. We're in this game, seeing number 99, Chok Him Siu, leading it with 3 goals, followed by Man Shun Chong with 3 assists. To see if that's enough. Is that enough for them to just get back into this game?
So Hong Kong high with confidence now. Like we said, their D-line have generated opportunities on maybe 3 or 4, well, at least 3, and if not 4 or 5 opportunities in this half alone. So they're full of confidence now. Let's see if they can force another error from Freakshow.
And see what kind of defense they show, and looks like a zone defense at that.
Now we look at it, they seem to have collapsed to match pretty quickly, or maybe it's just one of that poachy match that they tried early in that first half. Again a bid there, but not quite far enough. On the doorstep, lots of fakes and a lovely inside flick, a very narrow channel to unconventionally dump. Oh, that one's a high disc, trying to get bodies under. Not quite. Ooh. And that is just trying to settle Freakshow despite some very intense defense. Number 88, Wei Han Lim, gets the score for Freakshow. They take it to 14-7, and that will be game point.
Amazing show from Freakshow, and looks like that will be it. And Freakshow gets their first win in this tournament. So
it's, I believe it's 14-7. No, I don't think we've reached time count
apologies
yet.
on that. Yep.
Game point.
Game point. Yes. Apologies for that. We just thought that was the end of game, but looks like. But again, Freakshow 14-7, just 1 point away from calling it a day. If you're just joining in the stream, this is the first live stream game for day 2 here in Field 1. We also have another live stream happening in Field 2, so please do join or look out for those games in the World Flying Disc page.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of comments on YouTube about, how come this one pool is getting all of these streamed games? It's a very interesting venue here. We've actually got 2 venues,
correct,
right? And they're 15 minutes apart, 15 minutes drive, that is. And so the practicalities of actually getting teams across to the right fields means that the scheduling has been somewhat restricted.
Correct.
And I think also to note is within each venue, there's actually little zones and pods which are not close together. So it's been a real logistics challenge here, and the team, the local organising committee, have done an amazing job. It does mean that we have like all of the teams in the same pool on the same day in kind of the same zone, which means we are seeing a lot of games from the same pools today. But, across the week, we will have a nice spread of different divisions, different teams on the stream. Yes. So plenty more. Make sure you keep following along on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube. So Hong Kong on offense.
Again, some great movements here from open side to break side for Hong Kong. Just see if they can maintain that composure and execution. And just when I said that, but great save there.
Fantastic way to get the second opportunity, and there's going to be some contact and a collision there between a couple of players. Just going to say the Freakshow are doing well in terms of their match defense. I feel like they've definitely refined their positioning, and we're forcing Hong Kong to throw a lot of backwards passes. But in the end, managing to find their way forward through a little bit of a speculative high shot. But, picking up the scrap.
Ever I can, and rightfully so with that celebration. Amazing effort from her.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, look at her, really raking in the breast here, putting it all out on the line for her team.
Look at the replay of that amazing movement. You can see she just decided really that I want this disc more than anything right now. And I'm pumped up. If I was her teammates, I'm pumped up right now to play for her.
Absolutely. You could see the way she cut. She cut into one shoulder of her defender, made the hips turn, and then turned around to get that little space in that pocket, right, on the open side. So, I mean, if you're newish to Ultimate and still developing as a player, that's a perfect way to get free, you know. Cutting into the shoulder, making the hips move, because once your defender's hips have moved, it's very hard for them to change direction.
And then that's like, one of the skills that, and that's one of the skills, right, that you teach in these type of, you know, in those type of things in your drills, rather, in your practices, where force your defender to move their hips or shoulders and choose which direction she's going, on the opposite direction.
And interesting, you can hear some counting, I think, from the Hong Kong. Oh, what an incredible layout, D! Team Hong Kong not done yet. They've got plenty more, especially on their D line, to exhibit here at the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships. Now looking for a dump.
Amazing layout, D. That got me out of my seat, partner.
And working the open side now, again, having the confidence to attack their defenders, making them move, getting open. And I'm not really sure what the call was here. Maybe a foul, like it's a bit of arm.
A little bit of contact. And the
push-off.
reason, exactly, the reason why he had to tumble and get that disc. Amazing layout, D, there from Hong Kong.
That was Ziyu Lai there with an incredible block. Just read the play and went, this is my disc. Oh, and there, unfortunately, execution error, just a slight overthrow going past the hands on a dump. So Hong Kong having had an incredible moment, just unable to retain composure on offense.
Exactly, and it's just unfortunate that, so we'll see how they respond.
So Freakshow now looking to close out this game. Again, another bidding Hong Kong player. Oh, and that one is going to be show is over. Freakshow take the win against a valiant Hong Kong, 15-8. I think the first half was where it was won, Jonathan. Freakshow just went out to a really big start, so composed. Their D-line got possession and converted pretty much every single break. And then that was heartbreak for Hong Kong.
And this looks like a little bit of a celebration with the Pokemon cards there as you look at the replay of that beautiful shot by number 81. And that was actually Zion Zithing Seng with that beautiful hawk to Dan.
Yeah, Kayla Tan with a nice celebration spike. As we said, I think that game was absolutely won in the first half. In the end, the score was 15-8, and the second half was pretty much even. So, again, Hong Kong able to hold their heads up proud, really put on a really nice display, and plenty of momentum going into the rest of their games for the day.
Correct, indeed. And for Freakshow, that gives them their first dub, a great recovery from their first day loss. And we'll look to see how deep they can go in the next tournament.
Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned for plenty of action. We've still got more games coming up, 4 games from Field 1 and another 4 in Field 2. So stay tuned to the World Flying Disc Federation in conjunction with JFDA bringing this stream to you. This is Avril Tam and Jonathan Santos signing out.
Oh my God. Teka lang, hindi. Pwede inom lang po ako. Alam, dito ko alis na ako. While chat lang naman. Not yet. Do I stop it already? Sure ba? Stop ko na. Ay, stop ko na. Sabagay naka-live lang naman. Okay. So yung battery, ano naman siya, 87%.